And a pleasant good evening to you volleyball fans wherever you may reside. I'm Roy Elia, delighted to have you with us. We are here at the Toyota Center in Kennewick for championship action in the Washington Class 3A State Volleyball Championships. This the championship match pitting the Lakeside Lions against the Wildcats of Mount Spokane, and out of the chute, an outstanding play for Lakeside. And they take an early 1-0 lead in this championship match in the Class 3A classification. Both of these teams winning 3 matches apiece during action yesterday and today to reach this championship final here on Court 1 at the Toyota Center. Outstanding dig there by Lakeside, and an excellent kill attempt as well. It is out of play, and Lakeside takes a 2-0 lead. Molly Wake responsible for that point for the Lions, who are off to an outstanding start in this championship match. And a violation, a double hit called against Mount Spokane. And all at once, it is Lakeside 3 and Mount Spokane 0. To say the very least, Lakeside appears on paper to have had the better route to this championship match. Again, both teams went 3-0, but in their semifinal match, the team from Seattle came through in 3 straight games, and very convincingly, I might add, as Spiller comes up with a kill and a quick timeout called by Mount Spokane. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Well, Lakeside, in its opening match, defeated Prairie in 4 games, 25-12 in the first 2. They lost the third game 19-25, but bounced back for a Game 4 win at 25-15. They then swept aside Timberline 12-19 and 18, and in the semifinal match they beat Capital 25-11, 25-11, and 25-10. Meanwhile, Mount Spokane in its semifinal had to go 5 games before putting away Mercer Island 25-17, 25-27, 25-21, 15-25, 17-15 in what was truly a dandy of a semifinal here at the Toyota Center. And out of the timeout period, the momentum continues for Lakeside. A service ace delivered for the Lions that time. That puts them up by a handful. Can the Wildcats come back? Well, they get a break. A plain violation that time results in the first point of the match for Mount Spokane. 1 serving 5. And that momentum quickly squelched on the net serve, and a 5-point lead reestablished for the Lakeside Lions. Molly Wake to serve. A fine block that time, and a nice recovery for Mount Spokane. Katie Rhodes putting up the Wildcats' second point of the match. And Mount Spokane back to within 4. A Wildcat serve on its way. Big time hit there on the far side. A point for Lakeside. Compliments of Kallin Spiller. Spiller with a big hit that time. The kill on the far side. And that lead is back up to 5 points for the Lakeside Lions. Now a long serve results in a point for Mount Spokane, as both teams making wholesale substitutions as the early stages of this match unfold. A 4-point lead for Lakeside of Seattle. A serve for Mount Spokane. Set to the net. And that one just inside the baseline. And again, it was Spiller with the kill for the Lions, who now lead by 5. another 5-point spread for Lakeside. And Spiller will now serve. And a near point for Mount Spokane that time. Outstanding play on both sides. A good rally going on between the two teams. And that rally comes to a close with the kill on the far side. Lakeside claims its biggest lead of this opening set of the Class 3A championship game. Spiller, another serve. 9, serving 3. And a beautiful dig that time by the Lions. And one as well for Mount Spokane. A hit to the far side is wide. And the lead grows to 7 for Lakeside. Once again, Spiller to serve for the Lions. And a net violation on the part of Lakeside, so that error will result in a point for Mount Spokane, who crawl back to within a half dozen. Short serve, handled well by Lakeside that time. Kill attempt, well dug by Mount Spokane. That kill attempt up very nicely indeed by Lakeside. And some finesse shown by Lakeside in that sequence, and it results in the 11th point of this opening set for Lakeside. Again, substitutions for both sides. Prior to this serve, Riley Piggott. Right-hander puts it in play. Kill attempt near side. Handled by Lakeside. Kill on the far side. Lands just inside the near sideline. And the spread is up to 8. Lakeside 12. Mount Spokane 4. Another serve for Piggott. And there it is. And it's going to be an ace. That one not handled by Mount Spokane, and all of a sudden, it is a 9-point opening set. Timeout, Mount Spokane. Friends, to purchase a DVD keepsake of today's event, click on the blue Get the DVD button directly under your event video player, or click on the Buy a DVD button on the top right-hand corner of the NFHS Network website. Make today's memories last a lifetime with a DVD from the NFHS Network. We are high school. And Lakeside continues its dominance in this opening game of the Class 3A championship game. And yes, Piggott still serving, and serving very effectively. Nice up on that one. And a beautiful kill on the far side that time for Mount Spokane by Gina Brim. Brim giving the Wildcats a much-needed momentum as they trail now by single digits after being down double figs just a moment ago. And a kill for Lakeside. That one delivered by Molly Wake. And it's back to a 10-point spread. Substitutions for both teams prior to the serve. Coming in to serve, Ella Scudder-Davis for Lakeside. And a nice kill on the near side that time for Mount Spokane by Abby Newcomb. Newcomb with the termination on that sequence. And it's back to a 9-point spread. The Lions leading the Wildcats in this Class 3A state championship volleyball match. The setting is the Toyota Center in Kennewick. And a beautiful job that time at the net by Maddie Ryan. The opposition perhaps in that situation thinking set, but Ryan was thinking a termination in oh so delicate fashion. And she pulled it off very successfully. And speaking of success, Spiller with another strong play at the net for Lakeside builds the lead up to 11. 17 for the Lions, 6 for the Wildcats. Lions serve, upcoming. And an ace for the Lions as they pull to within 7 points of a Game 1 victory. At the moment, Lakeside looks like the fresher team, the more relaxed team, the more loose team. And just as I say that, a serve goes into the net to halt their momentum for the moment, but they still have a sizable lead in this opening set. Serve upcoming for Mount Spokane. Waters to do the honors. Ball set to the far side and terminated. It is killed by Kallin Spiller once again. She's having a very solid opening game. For that matter, the Lions overall having an outstanding opening game. But Mount Spokane, a nice play there by Newcomb. Abby Newcomb with the kill. That's the Wildcats' 8th point of this opening set. Spiller blocked that time beautifully by the Wildcats, but it goes for naught. Another outstanding play by the Lions, and they seem to have all the answers here in this opening game. They lead by a dozen. The serve by Ryan, a good one. And that kill for Mount Spokane. Into court successfully and mishandled by the Lions. Upcoming, a Mount Spokane serve. Katie Maher sends it into the opposite court. And a nice block that time by the Wildcats at the net. Teaming up on that one, Riley Sinclair, along with Melina Ama, to make it a 10-point set. The Lions doubling the Wildcats at the moment. And that attempt into the net. And the margin is down to single digits. Maher to serve once again. And a nice dig that time off the big hit by Spiller. She'll try one more time. A near pancake on the other side of the net, but not quite. Spiller at that time with a softie, and it results in point number 21 for the Lions. And a violation, perhaps encroachment, a net violation of some sort against the Wildcats, means the 22nd point for the Lions. Big hit there by Waters, but handled by the Lions. Waters will try again, and this time, no mistake. Ina Waters makes it a 22-12 opening set in favor of the Lions. Spiller finds the middle, the back middle, and she pulls her team to within 2 points of an opening set victory. Piggott to serve for the Lions. Waters hits it wide. Game point for the Lions. The Lions partisans across the way rise to their feet. Piggott to serve. And Waters with the kill. Waters keeps the Wildcats' hopes alive, but they've got a lot of work to do, trailing 13, serving 24. Might be a free ball possibility here. No, instead it's going to be a block at the net. Nicely done by the Wildcats to make it a 10-point margin. The Lions still on top. Their fans still on their feet anticipating game point. Almost realized, but not quite. Play at the net. Going to go to the Wildcats. Mount Spokane serve. And there is a game-ending termination by Molly Wake. 25-15, the final count of set number one. The Lions over the Wildcats. We'll be back with more after this timeout. They also finished fourth in 2014. They were in the state tournament in 2012, but they did not place. Game two is underway. And a hit on the near side goes wide. The attempt by Ama. And the first point of the second set goes to Lakeside of Seattle. And another point going to the Lions on a double hit committed by Mount Spokane. And as they did in the opening set, the Lions off to a quick start. But a net serve will result in a point for Mount Spokane and a chance to tie up the contest here in the early going of set number two. Ama to serve. Free ball opportunity upcoming for the Wildcats. But they do not take advantage as a result of a fine block at the net by the Lions, who now lead. I take that back. They actually rule that the termination was successful. My apologies. And we are even at 2-2. The Class 3A state championship match unfolding here at the Toyota Center in Kennewick. Big time termination there and a big time dig. Now some finesse shown. Spiller with the kill for Lakeside. The 6'2" senior gives her team a 3-2 advantage. And that kill attempt comes up short. And the Lions go up by 2. For serving 2. And Mount Spokane benefits from a bit of discombobulation on the part of the Lions and pulled within a single point here in this early going of set number 2. Spiller blocked, but the block attempt goes out of play. And that means a point for Lakeside. Serve upcoming for Maddie Ryan. 5 feet 10 inches tall, only a sophomore. And strong play at the net may result in a point. Mount Spokane unable to keep that sequence alive. And the Lions go up by 2. Ryan listed as a setter. Now serving. Free ball possibility for the Lions. And Spiller unable to get the ball over the net. A rare error on her part. And a point to Mount Spokane. Heading back behind the end line to serve for the Wildcats. Megan Billiter. Hope I got the name correct. And Spiller back in form. Another kill for her. And that gives her team a 3-point lead. Lions won the opening set 25-15. And lead here in game 2, 7-4. Now 8-4 as Waters is unable to finish. Everything was right on that sequence for the Wildcats except the final result. And a serve into the net by Spiller. And a point for Mount Spokane. Waters will serve. And a heck of a hit that time. Beautifully done by Pickett of the Lions. And Lakeside continuing to keep Mount Spokane at arm's length in the early stages of game 2. Mount Spokane, another huge break. Another serve into the net by the Lions. And a service upcoming for the Wildcats. Nice dig on the far side by the Wildcats. And a good block at the net by the Wildcats. And as a result, a hit a bit too strong that time. And the Wildcats benefit. And a near miss on the near sideline on that serve. And a point for the Lions. Entering the contest and serving, Ella Scudder-Davis, a libero, 5 feet 4 inches tall. She is a senior. And that hit a bit too strong. The attempt that time by Ama. And it's a 4-point lead for the Lions. And a nice serve down the far side. Eluding Ama that time. And that makes it a 5-point spread, 12-7. And a timeout is called by Mount Spokane. We will now step aside for these commercial messages on your favorite social media sites to keep up with all the high school action on the NFHS network. Hashtag We Are High School. And out of the timeout period, Ama with a big kill for the Wildcats to pull Mount Spokane to within 4. Katie Maher into the match to serve. 8, serving 12. Mount Spokane with some good hustle to keep this situation alive. And they're going to benefit from that good play. A block at the net resulting in a double hit on the other side of the net. And that deficit now down to 3. And another point for Mount Spokane. This time a carry is called against the Lions, and it's down to a 2-point spread. Nice little mini run on the part of the Wildcats. Bringing an end to that is Spiller with another kill. Or I take that back. It was actually Molly Wake, I beg your pardon. Wake with the kill to give momentum back to the Lions. Set near side. And a beautiful block at the net. Wake and Spiller were there. And now that pendulum of momentum swinging back toward the Lions after a mini run by the Wildcats. Waters with the attempt that time for Mount Spokane. Spiller denied. And now a double hit on Mount Spokane. And that is the 15th point of this set for the Lions. Mount Spokane benefiting from another serving error. That'll make it a 4-point set. 11 serving 15. And a big time hit there by Spiller. Helen Spiller, an outside hitter, very, very impressive. And she makes it a 5-point game. Wake will now serve for the Lions. Good hustle on the part of both sides. And another block at the net. Another kill attempt. And you know who it was. One of the players there, Spiller. Piggott was there right alongside. And that block makes it a 6-point lead for the Lions. Waters' kill attempt. Kept alive by the Lions. Another try. And this one is true on the near sideline. Mina Waters with the kill. 12 serving 17. Mount Spokane trails by 5. Waters hits it wide. 18-12 in favor of the Lions. And a serve up coming for Maddie Ryan. Free ball for the Lions. A nice pancake that time by the Wildcats to keep this point alive. And a nice job by the Wildcats to deny Spiller. Spiller again. Spiller puts it away. And the Lions continue to build on their game 2 advantage. Or do they? Well, they don't. Officials ruling a replay. Now the captains across the way getting the word from the up official. And while that conversation goes on, we will tell you that today's event is also available for all subscribers via our mobile site. Log on to nfhsnetwork.com from your smartphone or tablet and view live games or replays from anywhere. So the replay of the point, and the Lions will claim it. due to a net violation on Mount Spokane. Waters. Nice effort by the Lions. Spiller. Waters again. Palma. Spiller. On the line. Spiller finding the line on the far sideline for the Lions' 20th point of game 2. They are 5 points away from taking a 2-game advantage in this Class 3A state championship match. Attempt by Waters. And that attempt just off the mark. Good effort by Sam Folk. Just a bit too strong. And the point goes to the Wildcats. Into the match for Mount Spokane serving. The Billeter. And that service goes into the net. 21st point of the set for the Lions. Spiller to serve. Now a 9-point spread. Spiller to serve once again. Waters far side. Nice dig by Spiller. Waters again. It tickles the top of the net. Finds its way in play. It's now an 8-point game, 22-14. Waters serving. And Mount Spokane gets a big hit from Katie Rhodes. Rhodes pulls her team to within 7. And that one in play for the Lions. Riley Piggott, middle hitter, 5'11" sophomore, registers point number 23 for the Lions. She will now serve. Good hustle by the Wildcats. And a good, strong finish by the Lions. To within 1 point of taking a 2-set advantage in this Washington Class 3A state championship match for 2016. Piggott puts it in play. Alma hits it wide. And just like game 1, tally-wise, a carbon copy. Lakeside Lions prevail in game 2 like they did in game 1 by a count of 25-15. And we'll be back after these words. Coverage of WIAA playoff and championship action. Live games, the full game replays, the highlights. It's all here at nfhsnetwork.com/associations/WIAA-WA. We are underway in game 3 of this championship match. The Lakeside Lions out of Seattle roaring in the first two contests. The first two sets, the scores 25-15 and 25-15. And they get the first point here in game 3. And on that serve, the net used very effectively for the second Lions point of set 3. What they are hoping will be the final set of this match. That serve goes long. A point to Mount Spokane. Alma to serve for the Wildcats. And a very good serve. The Lions able to keep it alive. And the attempt by Waters, wide of the mark. And the Lions lead 3-1. Wake to serve. Middle hitter, 6'1" senior. And that attempt blocked effectively by the Lions. And the block results in another point for Lakeside of Seattle. Another outstanding serve. Nice termination attempt. Dug very well indeed. And Spiller that time missing the mark. That means a point for Mount Spokane. And a nice block that time by Waters off of that Lions attempt. And that makes it 4-3 in favor of Lakeside. Spiller kept alive. Waters knots things up here in game 3 at 4 apiece. Timeout, Lakeside. And with this timeout in the action, we will step aside for this message. But in this third set, the Lions and the Wildcats are tied at 4. Spiller. Waters. Point, Lions. Out of the timeout period, Lakeside reclaims the lead. Maddie Ryan back to the serving area, hoping to add to the slim edge that the Lions have at the present time. Waters denied. Spiller denied. Spiller again denied. But on the block at the net, a point to the Lions. But a gallant effort that time by the Wildcats. But the Lions able to garner the point. And miscommunication resulting in point number 7 for the Lions, who again lead 2-0. Waters with the left hand, dug very nicely, again with the right hand, but again kept alive by the Lions. Waters again. Nice dig on the far side. And some beautiful placement there in the open court area on that far side. And the Lions now take an 8. And a timeout called by Mount Spokane. And with that timeout period on its way, we will step aside for this message.
heart-stopping, game-changing, tide-turning moments of high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Lions 8, Wildcats 4 as we go here in Game 3 of this Class 3A State Championship match for 2016. Lakeside of Seattle with a 2-game advantage over Mount Spokane. Out of the timeout period, the Lions with a strong serve off the right arm of Maddie Ryan now take a 5-point advantage over the Wildcats. And a nice hit by the Wildcats. Thought for a moment the Lions would be able to keep that one alive, but they did not. Riley Sinclair giving the Wildcats their 5th point of this set. Set near side, and surprise, surprise, another kill for Spiller. Another point for the Lions, who draw closer to that state title. They're up 2 games and lead 10-5 here in set number 3. It is now a 6-point lead for the Lions, as many of their fans across the way again rise to their feet, cheering their team on, and what a team they have. They have been outstanding thus far in this championship match. After a denial of Waters, another kill by the Lions, who now lead 12-5. And a timeout called by Mount Spokane. And now all of the Lions fans across the way rise to their feet to salute their team. What a fine job they have done thus far. With a timeout on the floor, we will step aside for just a moment. In Kennewick, I'm Roy Elia, bringing you action in this Class 3A State Volleyball Championship match. Lakeside Lions leading the Mount Spokane Wildcats now by a score of 13-5. The Lions now a dozen points away from claiming the 2016 state championship. They won the first 2 sets very convincingly, both by scores of 25-15. And now poised to take game 3. But a temporary setback on that kill attempt by Sam Folk. A point to Mount Spokane. And that serve by Waters. Had a whole lot of net and also a whole lot of court. A point for Mount Spokane. Now to within 6. And that hit attempt goes long. Was there a touch at the net? I don't believe so. Officials say no. So 3 quick points for the Wildcats as they try to crawl back into this game. Has them down at the moment by 5. Now they're back down by 6 after that kill by the Lions. And Wake re-enters the contest for Lakeside. And Piggott to serve for the Lions. And that serve goes into the net. That means a point for the Wildcats. A 5-point spread here in game 3. That kill dug by Waters. Momentum quite possibly slowed at the net by the Wildcats. Waters denied. And Waters with the dig that time. And then a deflection on the far side into an open area on the Lions side of the court. And that point for Mount Spokane brings them to within 4. Now it's a 3-point spread. A 3-point lead for the Lions here in game 3. And that attempt is wide. That big lead of just moments ago has melted to 2. Now it's back to 3 as that serve falls short. Ella Scudder-Davis substitutes into the game for the Lions and will serve with her team leading by 3. Free ball opportunity for the Wildcats. And a block for the Lions. Ryan and Wake at the net that time. And the Lions back up by 4. Free ball for the Lions. And they capitalize. 17 for the Lions, 12 for the Wildcats. The Lions now 8 points away from the title. The state 3A championship. And I put the hex on them as that serve misses the court. Point, Wildcats. Maher to serve. Wake with the hit that time. Wake with the kill on the attempt. 18-13 in favor of the Lions. And a beautiful job there for Mount Spokane. Riley Sinclair with the kill to bring her team to within 4. Hama to serve for the Wildcats. And a free ball opportunity perhaps for the Wildcats, but it goes awry. Waters with the kill. Waters cuts the Lions' lead to 3. It is now 18-15 in favor of Lakeside of Seattle. Free ball upcoming for the Lions. Spiller puts it away. And gets her team one step closer to a set 3 victory and a 2016 state championship. But Mount Spokane's Riley Sinclair says, not so fast. We're still very much alive. Wildcats have been gallant in this third game after falling behind 13-5. And they are now to within 2. They close the gap to 2 once again, 19-17. Serve on the way. Spiller with another kill. This one of the softer variety. Brings the Lions' point total in this game to 20. Their lead is up to 3. Waters blocked at the net. Sensationally done by the Lions. Folk and Pickett were there. That brings the Lions to 21 points in the set. Now a chance for a free ball. No, it's going to go way out of bounds. Waters that time missing on the far side. The difficulty with the serve set the tone for that sequence. And the Lions drawing closer to that magic mark of 25. Spiller. A nice two-handed set into the open portion of the near court. And the Lions now 2 points away. 2 points away from the title. Free ball possibility. Spiller dug, and then a hit attempt goes wide. The second attempt that time by Pickett. And the point goes to Mount Spokane. The Lions 2 points away from game, set, and match. Spiller blocked that time beautifully by the Wildcats. Waters keeps that one alive. And that attempt just passed the baseline. The spread is now 4, and it's back to 5. Game and match time coming up now for the Lions. Spiller to serve. 1 point away from the crown. Waters. And that kill will do it. Lakeside of Seattle has prevailed in the championship match of the Washington Class 3A State Volleyball Tournament. In convincing fashion, the Lions defeat the gallant Mount Spokane Wildcats 25-15, 25-15, 25-19. We'll be back to wrap things up after these messages.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
Presentation, the runner-up, Mount Spokane Wildcats. Presenting the award, our sponsors are Westcott Tire, our Hill, our Dairy Farmers, State of Washington Dairy Farmers Ambassador, Alicia Slodges. Hold that pose a little longer and make her shot. Going, gone. All right. Thank you. Congratulations, Mount Spokane. And now for your state champs in the 3A division classification, Lakeside Lions from Seattle. Again, making a perfect presentation.
Back once again at the Toyota Center in Kennewick. I'm Roy Elia. The Lakeside Lions out of Seattle are victorious in the championship match of the Class 3A State Volleyball Tournament 2016. The Lions, who at one point during the regular season had a 15-match winning streak, now they carry that momentum into the postseason, and they carried it here to the Tri-Cities, and they prevail in this Class 3A championship match over a gallant group of Mount Spokane Wildcats. The final count 25-15, 25-15, and 25-19. Mount Spokane, they did not place a year ago. This year they will go home with a second place trophy.